When Germany opened its doors to welcome Syrian refugees fleeing war, 1.1 million people flooded in over 2 years. Most were Syrian, followed by Afghans and Iraqis.
وين حابين تروحوا هلا؟
ألمانيا.
Today, the Syrians we met in 2015 are being integrated, while the country is trying to deport Afghans and Iraqis who've been denied asylum.
و فرق دارن میذارن. اونایی که میگن نه تو آلمان همه یکسانن مساویان دروغه.
This September, Germans will vote in federal elections that will signal how the country feels about Chancellor Angela Merkel. Last year, gains made by the far-right AfD party in parliamentary elections were viewed as a damning referendum on Merkel's open-door refugee policy.
Germany is a Christian country, and yes, Islam is not a part of Germany.
We returned to Germany to see what the promised land holds for the refugees who made it in before the borders shut. In 2015, Hamida crossed into Germany with her husband Asadullah and son Hadi. Their baby Melissa was born 3 months ago in a refugee camp in Berlin. The Afghan family now lives in a container home on the outskirts of town.
اینجا بچه به دنیا آوردن خیلی خوبه. خیلی رسیدگی دارن به همه چیز بچه. خیلی خوبه. بچه‌م درس میخونه خدا رو شکر.
Have you been granted asylum?
نه، به ما جواب منفی دادن و سعی میکنم که دوباره تلاش کنم بمونم.
Are you guys worried about being deported?
خیلی. پدرم رفت افغانستان کشته شد. به همین خاطر خب الان ما میترسیم ما بریم همین بلا سر ما نمیاد، سر خانواده من نمیاد.
Germany doesn't consider Afghanistan a war zone and is sending the Afghans who were denied asylum back to Kabul. While we were editing this story, Kabul experienced one of its worst bombings ever, the latest in growing violence in the country. Ronald Glasser of the AfD party wants even Syrians to go home when their war ends. The AfD won state parliamentary seats last year by exploiting the anti-refugee sentiment that followed several attacks carried out by immigrants, like the New Year's Eve assaults in Cologne.
We don't want to wake up in a third world country or in a province of Africa. So if we accept immigration to our country, the better, the higher skilled they are, the better it would be. But we cannot be flooded with so many illegal immigrants that our grandchildren will no longer live in Germany.
Have you seen any evidence of a developed country losing its identity and becoming a third world country because it accepted immigrants and refugees?
Well, this is a bad comparison, but look at what happened in parts of South Africa, where it is very insecure today, since the black population has gotten all the power. But this is a bad comparison.
Yeah, because it's Africa and there are black people
South
there.
Africa.
How do you respond to your critics who say you are a racist party and an Islamophobic party? Do you accept that?
This is part of the political process to insult your competitor and saying you are racist. Well, it's just not true. I told you.
You're not racist?
No, of course I'm not.
You're not Islamophobic?
No, I'm not.
I asked Ronald to join me in a restaurant opened by a Syrian refugee who came to Germany in 2015.
Hello.
Marhaba.
I'm not really hungry, therefore I must eat something. Otherwise you're going to tell me I'm an Islamophobe.
No, absolutely not. That's not why. We just had breakfast too, so maybe we'll just have tea.
Dankeschön.
One of the AfD's biggest gripes is the billions Germany is spending to help refugees, most of whom remain on welfare and will need years to fully integrate.
I have no problems with immigrants from all over the world, but the thing is we have several economic and cultural problems with people from Turkey and Arabian countries. They have higher crime rates, they are more likely to be unemployed, so there are a lot of reasons why it is harder to integrate them. But those are the groups who came to our country in highest numbers.
The AfD says it represents the silent majority, a term also used in the US by President Trump. But these Syrian refugees dismiss the AfD as fringe.
ولا بشكل شيء نهائيا.
يعني مش خايفين منه؟
لا اقليات جدا وين ما كان حتى امريكا في كمان شيء في كل بلد.
هون الحياة كثير حلوة، الحياة هون كثير بسيطة، ما في هون شيء مزعج. نسمع بالاخبار يعني انه في حدا ما بيحبنا، بس انا ما شفت شيء على الارض، يعني ما شفت شيء على ارض الواقع انه هذا الحكي ما بيحبنا.
We heard that often from Syrian refugees here, but the Afghans who remain in refugee camps feel differently.
So we're walking into Tempelhof, which is a massive former airport that was built by the Nazis. Now it houses refugees, and at the height of the crisis, there were more refugees living here than any other place in Berlin.
Those living in cramped quarters here are Afghans who've been denied asylum.
کسانی که تو این کمپن 2 سال واقعا براشون لحظه به لحظه مرگه. من شب خودم خوابیدم اینجا مثلا موش میره زیر پا دستم. بچه‌م میترسه شب بخوابه. اونجا حداقل یه بار میزد با تیر میکشت. اینجا من روز یه بار دارم میمیرم. بچه‌م بهم بگه مثلا یه چیزو میخوام و من نتونم. یعنی اینکه غرور من داره خرد میشه. غرور امثال من اینجا داره خرد میشه و احساسات رویتا همه رو دارن روانی میکنن تو این کمپا.
Have you gotten asylum?
نه درخواست پناهندگی منم رد شده نمیدونم چرا ولی اعتراض گذاشتم وکیل گرفتم ببینم بعدش چی میشه خدا چی میشه.
But a high-ranking official in the Interior Ministry told us they're determined to deport Afghans who have been denied asylum.
They will have no prospects.
No prospects of getting asylum here?
Very little prospects of getting asylum here. And if they are not entitled to asylum, they will be returned, and they need to know that.
Do you have numbers on how many Afghans have been returned to Afghanistan so far?
The numbers are not very high. What we note is every time a return flight is being planned, Afghans get wind of it, and they simply vanish. It's a problem. We're going to deal with it, and Afghans need to know their prospect for getting protection in Germany is lower than 50%.
In May, the German channel Quelle News 5 captured a video that went viral, showing hundreds of students in Nuremberg clashing with police to try to stop them from taking an Afghan student for deportation. In a recent study, Germans said they're largely in support of welcoming refugees, but also think the country has reached its limit. Many we talked to said the same.
Dass es Kriegsflüchtlinge sind, mit Familien, mit Kindern, weiß ich was, und auch Alleinreisende aus dem Kriegsgebiet, fand ich schon richtig. Aber dass es so chaotisch erfolgt ist, dass sehr viel Trittbrettfahrer, nennt man so in Deutschland, also Leute aus dem arabischen Raum, die mit Krieg nichts zu tun haben, mit hingezogen wurden und sich ausgegeben haben, das halte ich als negativ.
The idea that freeloaders took advantage of Germany's open doors is even more prevalent in rural regions, like where Mohammed, a Syrian we met in 2015, now lives. Even while waiting on the border, Mohammed told us he didn't want to be a burden.
We're trying to be polite, we're trying to be good refugees with a good future.
We first met him on a bus in Austria that was shuttling people to the German border.
Where are you guys from?
I'm from Syria.
All of you. And your family?
Yeah, he's my cousin, and he's my brother, he's my other cousin, and the rest is my friends.
Hi! How are you?
The guys have since split up, moving wherever they could find opportunity. Mohammed got an internship in the countryside and is renting a room in a family's home. Our cameras attracted a curious neighbor.
Wo arbeitet sie? Wo arbeitet?
Motan?
Ah ja, bei
Motan, genau. Ja, alles Elektron, genau.
Entschuldigung, das ist...
Na, alles klar, alles klar.
Ich dachte, was ist denn da?
Sie sind unsere Nachbarn, alles klar.
It's like pretty much, it's kind of emotional for me to see him busting out fluent German, talking to his German neighbors, when the last time I saw him, he had just taken like a life-threatening journey and, you know, crossed into Germany, super tired, uncertain future, so... I'm very proud of you, I was saying. I'm very emotional seeing you talk German and, you know, be
Of course
here.
I would talk German, I mean,
you know, the last time I saw you, you guys were just like super exhausted and you barely made it and you almost drowned and you almost had your stuff stolen and remember?
I don't know.
Remember that?
I don't know what to tell you, but, you know, living here, it's like you'll get this chance only. Either you will prove yourself or you'll go with the other people. I don't want to take money from government anymore.
Mohammed's off welfare and feels his internship may lead to a job, goals he set out to achieve when we first met.
A bunch of people right now are about to board a free bus to the border.
You told us to get on that bus, remember?
Yeah,
You were
because
like, "Come with us,
you were talking in English, and you were talking, and then I thought hey, this is someone talking English, maybe I can explain something for them.
We're trying to send the message that we are not just refugees. We are engineers, we are doctors, we are lawyers, we are scientists. So in our country, in Syria, most of us, they don't have a good or a better education.
Yeah.
So for me, I would like to continue my study or to work there.
As I did.
You are working here.
All I'm thinking about now is just to be in Germany. Once you are in Germany, everything will be okay.
Has it been okay?
Yeah, I can say like it's for 70%. It's not everything was okay. I mean, it's not really easy. The government here asks the people to integrate. Of course, we need to integrate. We need to learn the language. We need to respect the rules. We need to respect the people. We need to respect the traditions here. I am really 100% with that. But you cannot just tell someone who was in a war and now he become here, he need to start from zero. I mean, it's not a way to deal with people that really they come from war.
The path to creating a new life in Germany is a long and often difficult one. To get far, you need to speak German, and most asylum seekers still don't. And it can be lonely. Mohammed hopes to marry his fiancée, who's in Syria, and have her join him.
When you think about the fact that we're in this like really nice coffee shop in a beautiful European city, and you contrast that to what's happening in Syria right now, what does it make you feel?
When I'm talking to my cousin, like we are talking every 2 weeks, for example, I'm telling him, hey, what's going on? He's telling me, thanks God we're still alive. It's like that. I mean,
what's it like around him?
It's like he don't know when it's going to be a bombing, but it will be. Someday, we don't know when, we don't know where. Maybe he will be there, maybe he will not. This is the problem. I mean, I'm feeling shy to tell him that I'm good. I'm feeling shy to tell him that I'm going everywhere. I'm feeling shame that sometimes I forget myself, and I used to live here.
Do you feel guilty being here?
Yeah, of course. But at the end, it's my life. I mean, I got scared like everyone else. Everyone gets scared for his life. Everyone wants his life to be good. So everyone is asking me, are you going back to Syria? I don't know what the future will be, how the future will be. Maybe I will go back, maybe not. I don't know. I don't have any clue about that.
When Germans return to the polls this fall, the world will be watching to see whether the country joins a tide of populist right-wing fervor seen across Europe. Meanwhile, Syrians like Mohammed will continue trying to fit into German society, while many Afghans who also entered the country when he did may have to bid it farewell.